Hello and welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. In this tutorials we'll explore a world machine. We're going to create a simple island, kind of basic techniques, but it's help you to understand some parameters and some filters. Mostly we will use different filters for different kind of altitude and see how we can clip those together. So let's go ahead. First we'll create generators and we'll just take advanced Perl. This will be our main island. So to create island, we have several options. We can go inside the layout and we can, right here's our main extend, and we can create inside another layout, another main extend one way, or we can use it the shape and mask guide and creating the gradient, radial gradient, and connect. You can see right here we have shape. We'll go to the mask, and this way we can create as well one of the mountain. You can see. So let's create on a main extend. Okay, we can even adjust our main extend, make it bigger. So let's do this way. Okay, so several options we can do whatever you prefer. If you prefer from radial, the total circle, you can do this way. Or how I said before, we can go inside our main extend and we can create a new layout. Okay, right here we can create a circle. Let's adjust this circle a bit more in the middle, and I like this way a little bit better because when we double time click, open shape properties, and right here you can see we can readjust how we want it. So let's go just different shape for now, kind of like almost blob going right here. Okay, we'll use it break up. You can see how it starts make it different ways. Okay, and let's pop up even roughness right here, and you can see how it's look kind of nice circle. Okay, from when we create this, we have it layout and the same things. Now we can connect this layout or to the mask, and we can also create to the shape, but that mask in this case just worked fine. Okay, let's go open, and at this point I want to create a little bit more rocky, so I will reduce the scale. We can make a little bit more rigid type, pop up elevation slightly, and maybe steepness. Let's click OK. We'll go on preview, and right here you can see we created one type of island. And again, this is more rocky if you have water going to work around. If you want to create more like with a sandy beach, it's kind of more tropical type with the corals maybe or other things. We can go always inside the layout. We can take properties and let's just switch on the opposite so you can see how it is kind of expanding. So and we'll take fallout, bring up. Okay, we'll go now, and you can see right here its edge is totally different now, so it's more smooth going inside. We still have it right here very rough top, and it's because there we preview before the purling we applied. So right here will be with purl node. So you can see we create kind of interesting island. Again, shape of the island, it depends what you prefer. Okay, let's go ahead, and then next you can see right here we have the rocks, and maybe we want to apply some effect to those rocks, maybe some terrains to that point. Okay, so let's go ahead right here. Okay, we'll go to the filters, and the filters we have the beautiful, we have the clamp, simple, and terrace. So let's go select terrace. Okay, and we'll look right here. We have it already previewed terrace. We have a number of terraces. So let's go pop up a little bit more because I want them like rocks. Okay, we'll go layering. Okay, click OK. And one thing you notice, they are kind of vertical, and don't worry about them will be too aggressive. We want to move them from the bottom. We want them apply a little bit more in a higher altitude. So again, we have it masking. It's where we can use it, and masking we can always use it clamp tool. So let's go right here. we applied, but we need also input. So let's take input from our advanced pearls. We open this, and in this point we can go or clip, and you can see we can apply where or clamp. So we can actually take and we can specify which area we wanted those to applied. Okay, so let's go right here, preview. You can see right here we have it smaller a little bit, so let's work more. Okay, so let's go ahead, lock these previews. We can kind of help us to see a little bit better what's happening. We'll go open and clamp, and if we look on the expand in this case, and you can see when we start moving, you can see almost like a line right here. You can see this line kind of expand. So I can tell, okay, I want this filter go about maybe around right here. Okay, and from the top, I can go all the way on top. On this case, we'll have it smooth, and we start having those steps just apply a little bit to the higher level. So we have it kind of like sandy area. Okay, we can take actually look a little bit lower. Click OK. So we have a little bit more terraces applied to our top layer, which is probably what I wanted in this case. Okay. Same things with the clamps. We can control how it's applied to what areas. So again, if we have it mask applied to this area, remember we can also combine those masks. So if you, for some reason, if you want to go ahead and take the angles or something other effect, and you want to apply to this, you can add them together. So what if happen if I want to this clamp on one side, for example, if we have weathering on another ones. So we can actually going inside the selector, select the angle. Okay, we can put right here, and we can use it this for the mask. Okay, take our high field. You can see that we're already affecting. So we go in the select area, and we can take elevation down, and we can change our headings from area we want this effect. So for example, we go from kind of east side, we'll go right here. Let's go back to terrace. Okay, we'll go preview. And you can see we're applying these terraces only from one side. So this is side does not apply. You can apply same effect if we want to do. We can work on a different type. For example, if we want to smooth out, we can go ahead and create additional for example, erosion in this point. Okay, and I want to apply erosion a little bit more on another side. So we'll go apply terrace this way. Okay, and we can we can go ahead, let's go to selector. For example, take our selector, and we can apply from this side. About right here. Go to the mask, and we can actually just let's apply a little bit higher so we can preview what's more happening. And you can see we still have it right here, quite a bit sharp edges with the terraces, and we'll apply a little bit more to this area around. Of course, we need to modify select area because currently you can see it's applied just a little bit. Okay, so we want to add a little bit more to this area. Kind of preview, but you can see the effect we can apply it. If you want more, this is a less dramatic effect, so we can always go ahead and replace this maybe with more visible, like a blur. You can see I have the Gaussian blur this way. Let's add a mask to this, to the blur, and same things right here. So we have a little bit more blur. So let's go to actually rotate. Oops, not this one. Rotate this area. Preview. Okay. And you can see we have a little bit more blur right in this area. It's less sharp now. Let's go lock preview. So in this case, I can modify, create more insane blur. And you can see area where we're affecting. So just in a way, we can start combining different type of the terrains, and by using our different masking tools, we can modify those terrains just in specific areas. For example, based on an angle, we have it based on a height, so we can do with height. We have it on a slope, so depending if it's a steep slope, we may leave it, and if it's flat, we can apply it. And we can do this actually more work slope if we work with natural filters. Okay, so example, we can go right here. Let's apply a little bit more. So I want, in this case, I just want to see the more dramatic effect to this. Okay, and next I'm going to apply just only to specific slope. So we'll go to selector, go select slope. Again, we want from this applying, and we'll just go to erode it just straightforward for now. Let's go to lock. It's kind of nice when you can lock to this, so we can go preview, and we can see where it's applied, and you can see sometimes, of course, effect kind of getting out of hand, so we needed to modify this slope effect. And you can see we can apply just maybe, let's go exponential. So we don't have those work, but I want these sides, I don't want effect. Okay, right here, preview. You can see idea of this. We apply to some other areas, but we still have it grid and a little bit smoother. So let's go ahead, modify the slope a little bit more. Okay, again, we preserve, but we still have it quite a bit. You can see going around erosion happen here. This slope still have it our original terraces, and we'll smooth out a little bit in this area. Again, I'm taking very much to the extreme, and some of this extreme create this kind of hard peaks. The idea of this just showing you that how different filters can combine together to creating this nice effect. Okay, and again, let's go ahead back. And if I work with a slope, I don't like how it's affect top of the mountain, so we can also add to our slope. Okay, we can add bottom example of the altitude as well. So we can go to select height. Again, we don't want effect, for example, these areas. In this case, we want to use a combiner. And in our combiner here, you have a couple options. We can add But you notice with add we don't necessarily want, because we want to preserve the black areas, and we want to subtract. So in this case we can just affect specific areas with the just slope. So it depends which area you want affecting. Same like minimum. It's like work better for this. Okay, let's go click preview. You can see we don't affect top. We have it our sides, and we have it nice removing on the edges. Again, we can just rework maybe a little bit right this area, but this is terrace is affecting as well. But overall, you can see we're now combining a total different filters. Terrace, we have a different effect by using masks. So I hope this is give you kind of idea of how you can use a different mask, and you can use different filters and combine them together to isolate specific area where do you want those effects applied to your terrain. Thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio. Please remember visit us on the web is www.geekatplay.com.